Welcome to Uncle's Channel. Thanks for watching today, and let's talk about a sequel to the TMNT Cowabunga Collection, because obviously this game is sold like wildfire on PlayStation, Xbox, and especially Nintendo Switch, because most of these games came out on the Nintendo to begin with. But that does leave the door open. Is Konami going to do a sequel for the Cowabunga Collection? Because they've done such things like the Castlevania Collection. It sold really well. Then we got the Castlevania Advanced Collection. And of course, there's an interview here. And the interview is actually with Konami and Digital Eclipse. Both their producer and editor, Murakami and Chris Kohler here. And they were asked within the interview if there's going to be a sequel to the Cowabunga Collection, which is going to include the 2003 Turtles series. You know, the one that's a little bit more darker, a little bit more mature, maybe closer to like the tone of like Batman animated series. I've not watched enough of it to really know, but people do say it's a well-received cartoon. But they were asked if there's going to be a sequel to the Cowabunga Collection to include these particular games, and their response was, "Never say never. I've waited decades for a TMNT collection and seen other fans share my desire to see this project come together as one of the greatest moments in my career. Although sometimes the stars have to align for a project to come together, I'm encouraged when you see fans nudging those stars into place." And obviously the TMNT fans have really been coming out of the woodworks between this, Shredder's Revenge, support for the new movie, support for the Rise of the TMNT movie that just came out, all the action figures. I mean, the TMNT fans are really pushing for more TMNT stuff, so I wouldn't be one bit surprised if Konami does start looking in this direction. But that brings up the question, which games are going to be included in the Cowabunga Collection Part 2? It's not going to be like all the 2000 Turtles games, because Ubisoft did a great number of those games. And this is going to be a Konami collection specifically, because they're the ones who are basically in charge of the first Cowabunga Collection. So which games are going to be included? There are going to be 6 games that could be included in the Cowabunga Collection Part 2. 4 will be PlayStation 2, GameCube, or Xbox ones, and 2 of them will be Game Boy Advance games. Now let's talk about the Game Boy Advance ones first, because those are sort of the easiest ones to get out of the way. The first one was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, just simply called that, based on the first season of the Ninja Turtles cartoon. And of course, you get to take the role of any of the 4 turtles, play through separate side-scrolling stages, sort of beat them up, sort of just action platformers in some areas as well. It's a fun game. I like the game. There's a link where I compared all the Game Boy Advance games up above, and it's a good game. The second Game Boy Advance game is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Battle Nexus. There's going to be a GameCube, we're going to talk about one in a second. This is for the Game Boy Advance one. And personally, I don't like this one as much. It's more puzzle-oriented in a way, and it's more of a sort of solve puzzles in the action platform areas. It's difficult. It's not really well explained. It's not a whole lot of fun for me. Some fans probably love it, but for me, it's not one of my favorite. But those are the 2 Game Boy Advance games that would be included on the Cowabunga Collection Part 2 if it comes to fruition. Now, some people would ask, well, where's the third one? Where's the TMNT game based on the movie in this collection? The best Game Boy Advance game. It wouldn't be part of the Cowabunga Collection Part 2 simply because that game was produced by Ubisoft and Konami had literally nothing to do with that game. So it wouldn't be included on that collection. Now let's talk about the bigger games, the ones that are included on the GameCube, Xbox, PlayStation 2. Now these games are actually going to be more of a full 3D environment, still beat 'em up, still a game when it comes to that. The first one just simply called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, based on the first season of the cartoon, and it's going to be a 2-player co-op, and you get to battle through the entire game. I've not gone through the game, so I can't give a lot of personal experience on it. I'll probably purchase these games at some point soon, maybe do like a ranking of the Xbox or PlayStation games. But personally, I've not played this one a great deal, and so it is going to be a 2-player beat 'em up. It was well received though. People tended to like it a good bit. Now the second big game that's going to be on the collection is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2 Battle Nexus, and this is going to be based on the second season of the TV show, and they actually added in 4 players into this game, and it was also well received from critics. Similar game style as the first one. You can actually unlock the arcade game, the original one, or a little bit of updated version of that inside this game as well. I'm not sure if they include that because that sort of steps on the toes of the first Cowabunga Collection. We'd have to wait and see. But this is going to be another 3D beat 'em up, but up to 4 players can join in on this one. And that's sort of a cool addition because, I mean, most of these newer systems, especially if you're playing online, you're going to have the 4-player option, and that'd pull a lot of players in. And let's keep the ball rolling with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003 cartoon with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 3, Mutant Nightmare. And Part 3 here is going to be very similar to Part 2. Still the same type of gameplay, still action, 4-player beat 'em ups in a 3D environment. But you can unlock the Turtles in Time, I guess, enhanced mode on this as well. So it's going to also step on the toes of Cowabunga Collection. But this game was actually the least received of the 3, and it's actually the last Konami game that they put out. However, there is one more that would be on the collection, is one that I'm actually most interested in playing in, and it's going to be Mutant Melee. Now this one came out right before, or a few months before, the part 3, and it's a completely different game. It's a fighting game, and it's a 3D fighting game where you actually get to battle against each other. Now some of the other GameCube, Xbox, PlayStation 2 had that mode where you could unlock it, and you could battle against each other to some degree, but this is a game that's fully focused on being a fighting game. I'd probably compare it most from like screenshots and video play to like Marvel Nemesis. I don't know if you've ever played that game. Really fun Marvel beat 'em up game. But according to things I read, it's got like 22 playable characters in this. I mean, pretty expansive based on the 2003 cartoon, like the other ones in this collection would of course be. But it seems like a really fun fighting game. I don't know about the reviews so much. From what I could see, it really wasn't reviewed by a lot of organizations. I guess because this was like sort of the end of the turtle craze to a degree, especially for the 2003 cartoon. But it also marks the end of Konami's streak with the games. They had the 2 Game Boy Advance games, the 3 mainline beat 'em up games for the Xbox, PlayStation 2, and GameCube, and then of course this fighting game here. And of them, I'm probably most excited for the fighting game. I mean, it just looked like a really unique take, and like I said, I really did love that Marvel Nemesis. I like these 3D fighting games. They just bring a new aspect to the fighting genre. But it does bring up the point, if they do a Cowabunga Collection with this, like how much more are they going to be able to do for like special features? Because I know like the first Cowabunga Collection was clearly based on like the original cartoon and original comics far more when it came to like the games. However, like the special features, they included like all the 2003 stuff when it came to like to the TV show special features, looking at screenshots. Also included, you know, like some of the artwork for some of that stuff. I mean, 2003 was well represented in this first Cowabunga Collection as far as special features go. And so it's like, well, what else are they going to do special feature wise? Obviously, they can do like strategy guides for these games, or they can do like development for these games. But as far as just like cool memorabilia, like comics and TV show stuff, it's already done in the first collection. So I'm not sure what they would pull out for special features. I don't really want this, you know, the sequel to Cowabunga Collection to be lacking in special features. I just don't know personally what they would do for special features. If you have an idea for the special features, let me know in the comments down below what you might expect from the Cowabunga Collection Part 2 special features. But what do you all think? Do you think there is going to be a Cowabunga Collection Part 2? Which game are you most excited to play in the Cowabunga Collection Part 2? Me personally, I'm most excited for Mutant Melee, but I'd also like to experiment more with the 3D beat 'em ups because I never really got to play them a lot for the GameCube way back in the day. I've really just had experience with the Game Boy Advance ones, but hey, at least the first one of those was a really good game. But let me know in the comments down below which one you're most excited about. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, go out there, find a great game to play, and just simply have a great rest of the day.